Beauty, and we have the wonderful Marcus King, who is 11th Hour Beauty's brand ambassador.
Hello.
And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, Marcus. How are you?
Oh, very well. I kind of quite a positive person, so I've been looking at the most positive things as I can at this. Can I just say, first of all, what an industry to be involved with.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe that how much information is shared, and teaching DEMS and things just off people's own back. Just get out there and do it on dummy heads and everything. It's incredible. People that are involved in this industry. I'm really proud to be part of it. I really am.
Yeah, and I'm sure that sentiment's shared across the industry. Everyone's really banded together during this time. How have you found lockdown for you? Like, well, not so much personally, but how's your experience been so far?
I suppose, like everybody at the beginning, like I was panicking like mad. You know, we're only 2 years into our business, and I was absolutely scared to death and scared of the whole thing. But then I looked at it and thought, well, it's a good idea to look at your business. You've got time to actually look at it. You've also got time for family and things as well. As we were saying earlier, the weather's been quite good as well, even up north. So that's been a positive. and I think at the end of the day, it's a situation that you got yourself that you're in and everybody's in. So that's quite positive. It's not just a single person's. It's around the whole entire world. So again, as well as I take the opportunity to look at different videos and things, and I've got a lot out of that. I think it's incredible to keep learning, and this gives us an opportunity to actually sit back and actually watch things and practice things as well. So I'm quite positive about it, to be honest. And talking to the 11th Beauty Hour guys as well, that's been amazing. The platform that they've got, I think, is absolutely fantastic. So
yeah. Well, I was going to say that I've got some questions for you anyway, but I would love for anyone that's watching in Zoom or on Facebook to send over any questions you have about making appointments, booking systems, etc. And if you could talk a bit about 11th Hour Beauty, Marcus, and how you found working with them, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, for me, I'm quite a technophobe. All right, so something that works and that's easy to work for me. I'm a pure hairdresser. I love getting my hands in and things and writing things and all that is not my idea of fun at all.
Yeah.
So something that's easy and the platform's easy. I know if I can do it, then I know a client can do it. And that's where I was going. If I can do it, you can do it, and they've made their platform so easy and so easy to understand like that. I also think, personally for me, if you don't have a booking platform like 11th Hour, then there's something wrong. You don't ever ring a hotel. I'm not saying get rid of the phones at all, because there's going to be clients who want to ring, and there's also sometimes you're going to want to ring yourself. But I think that the idea moving forward, and we've got to think about the future, what's going to happen, especially younger people, they never ring. They always book on. And I'm quite surprised that how many people think that it's so easy. At first I was really worried that people would think, what do I do? How do I do this? All you've got to do is the salon's got to sign up, you've got to sign up. All the information's there on the website. You click to book an appointment. You could be anywhere. An appointment, as long as that appointment is free. It doesn't get mixed up in the book as well. I think that mainly worries a lot of hairdressers, that you think these appointments are get overbooked and double booked, and it can't do that. You can't book that. I think the way forward is definitely the phone ringing less and people booking online, and that to me is a good thing as well. I think that if you're not lucky enough to be able to have a receptionist, and I've certainly been through this. I can only talk honestly. Have had people answering the phone. In fact, I've done it when I've been an assistant as well, because I never had a receptionist in salons I worked in, and you'd book somebody wrong, or you'd answer the phone wrong. In this way, that takes all of that out. you're in control as much as you want to be, or you're not in control as much as you want to be. That to me is absolutely fantastic. You know, you can get on with hairdressing, you know, and not worry about
the technology takes that that away, that so you can concentrate on what you're actually doing in the salon.
Yeah.
How have you been finding that you've been preparing for returning to the salon?
Preparing in the way of looking at what we're going to do with social distancing in the salon and everything. I know that the problem is I, first of all, Anna's much more a very logical person. I think this is a good thing about our relationship. You know, I think that she's logical and thinks about things where I am like a fusshead. And
yin and yang.
Yes, very much. You know, I was going into the salon and I was going to knock walls down and all sorts and put up screens everywhere, and you know, I've almost like a rabbit hole for clients to go into and come out of. And oh, I had everything going on. And the thing is what Anna said. You know, we're not going to be opening yet. Wait, let's see what's going to happen. And obviously, you know, hopefully everything's going to go, fingers crossed, for July the 4th, and the meter distance then from 2 meters to meter. And also we've looked at the screen in our salon. We're lucky that we've got an upstairs and downstairs, so we're going to put more chairs upstairs and then some downstairs, so we can actually spread them out even further than 2 meters. So we're quite lucky in that respect. So I know that each salon's going to be different, and this is the thing that I've said about the guidelines. The guidelines, each business is going to be different, because each salon's different. And some salons are going to need screens up because that's the only way they're going to be able to work. Some salons are not going to need screens up. You know, it's all a guideline. I think that people panic, and rightly so, because I'm one of them people. I'm the panicker. But what you've got to do is read them and understand that these are guidelines to go through. It's about making it safe for the staff, making it safe for your customers. You know, the cleaning element of things, and make sure things are clean and all that. I personally think hairdressers are one of the best people for that. You spend 3 years of your, you know, in a career at the beginning cleaning. If anybody knows how to clean things right, it's a hairdresser. You know, I personally think that we've got no problem going back. I think that there's going to be an element of people being a bit scared, and you know.
How have you been talking to any clients about, you know, returning to the salon and how they might be feeling about how you're preparing the salon for reopening?
Again, with the 11th Hour, they introduced this catch-up system. So it's where you can actually talk to your client. I mean, they just introduced this over lockdown, which I thought was a fantastic idea. So you can actually talk to the client and reassure them what's going on. Also give them ideas. You know, if they're worried. You know, for me personally, I don't think anybody should do their own hair outside the salon. I think they should just wait. So that's been
nearly there now as well. Don't do it now either. Nearly there.
You know, I mean, I know there's been a lot on media about doing your own hair, especially at the beginning and things. But what was quite good is with this catch-up system, I was able to sort of talk to clients and just reassure them. And once you've actually just talked to them, it's so funny how, you're right, I'm going to wait, because they think you're a professional, which you should be. Yeah. And once you give them advice and professional advice, then straight away afterwards, they're like, I feel better now. You know, I feel better about it. I'll wait. And I think that system is absolutely brilliant in there. You know, that's perfect.
On Facebook, Marianne said, yes, you're talking so much sense, waiting to see what guidelines are. I've been informed on the downside of all those plastic screens. Also, it will be different in different salons. Totally agree. So a lot of people agree, because every salon is different, and the amount of clients you have, etc.
Yeah, you know, it again, as well as it comes down to financial as well. For a lot of people, you've got to understand that obviously there's 3 months of people not making any money. So all of a sudden, then you've got to go into a salon and start knocking things apart and buying screens and doing this and doing that. And the panic that gets to people, I think, is terrible. It's certainly, I was certainly like that as well. So I understand that with people. I think that wait for the guidelines to come out. There won't be a massive rush. I don't think the government are in any kind of way of doing things, of saying, right, you all got to do this now, and then everybody's going to go out and buy this, buy that, and there's going to be none left for people to open. I think to prepare yourself with masks and some PPE, because that's important. Yeah, you know, the sensible things, and make sure the sound's all clean, and which it will be anyway. I think personally this is like opening a new salon. That's where I've treated it. You know, whether your salon's been open 20, 30 years or 2 years or a year, this is like opening a new salon. So think of it like that. When you walked into your salon for the first time, once you've done everything, it's exactly like that. You know, so treat it like that.
If you think of it that way, it's like new beginnings can be scary, but they're also exciting because it's a chance to do things even better.
Absolutely.
Carol said, hi, how are you going to do all your allergy testing with not getting to do it prior to opening? Regarding colour, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've been working with Revlon a lot, obviously, with this, because I'm on the artistic team for Revlon, and there's no official saying that you've got to do an allergy test. For me personally, I would look at the same thing as what you've done, that the client's got to come in 36 hours before. Obviously, if they're booked in, when you're going to go back, the official rule on it at the moment is that we don't have to skin test, because it's already been done. It's only 3 months, so individual people are going to take this differently, and I know that, and I can only speak for myself personally, but if somebody hasn't obviously been to the salon before, then you're going to have to still do a skin test. You know, it's definitely.
How have you been keeping in touch with your staff?
Well, we've obviously Zoomed each other. We talk to each other constantly on the phone. The girls and Anna have their own private chat group. The girls,
we're not invited.
The boys are not invited to that one, you know, and we don't want to be totally honest. And I think it's definitely important to keep in touch with them and keep it going. Obviously, you know, some stands will be huge, so it's going to be very, very difficult for that. You know, most salons will have their own group, I would have thought. But you know, you've got to reassure them as well, the younger people as well. You know?
But have you had to kind of reassure them, your staff, about like their jobs, etc., and how have you been kind of keeping them positive in that way?
I'm very lucky. I've got a fairly small team. That, you know, there's 7 of us, sorry, and you know, I think that I'm quite lucky that I can get around them quite easily, and they all know, obviously, you know, the job's safe as much as it can be. They're all young, apart from Michael, and he'll love me for saying that, but
no shade, Michael.
He'll be coming on in a minute. And they live with the parents and things as well, so financially that's been quite good for them, and I've been quite happy. If there were people on their own and stuff, and all being self-employed, that would have been obviously quite difficult for them financially, and obviously we found that. I think again, it's all about communication. It's the same thing with the customers, and it goes back to what I was saying about 11th Hour. It's then chats. If you've got to chat to clients, then you've got to chat to staff as well. You know, you have to.
Yeah, for sure. Being that you are a young salon, were you worried about business at the start of lockdown?
Oh, absolutely, completely. We were very unlucky in the fact of the rent was due the week of lockdown, and the rent's due next week again, and as we're coming out. So, but we were fortunate again to get a grant. You know, so that's obviously helped. I think that was major thing. Without that, that would have been very, very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, there's with something like this, it's unprecedented. It's like we've never been into it. So to you know, obviously the insurance we were looking at first, and like everybody was, and I was thinking, right, we've got disaster insurance, so we're going to be all right. And then obviously that didn't cover us, so that was a major sort of drop. And there's you know, been a lot of negatives in that aspect as well. But there's nothing you can do apart from keep going as much as you can. You know, there's you know, the implications of financial, I think that it's going to go on for quite some time as well. That's why we've got to go in there, and I think in a positive way, hairdressers are brilliant in that respect. Once they've got to get their heads down to get to work, and that's all of us. That's assistants and everybody included. You know, it's like a busy Saturday or Christmas period, and I think that that's how I've talked to the staff about this. This is going to be like a Christmas. So it's in summer, so it's going to be like I've said this. Other people might want to do this. I've said it's like Christmas in Australia. It's going to be sunny at Christmas. That's what I've said. You know. You know, so I've said that. I mean, it might be silly for some people, but it's a way that I look at it and think, well, you know, this is Christmas in Australia. It's going to be sunny. But it probably won't be up north, but never mind.
Yeah, you like it's only the sunny day today up north.
Yeah, it is.
We've got some questions coming through from Facebook. I'm just going to have a look through them. Claire says, I'd like to do in-salon training a week before reopening. Is this allowed on head blocks, wearing masks and staff 2 meters apart? I don't know about that, but you know.
I think the thing is I mean, talking to the Revlon guys as well, because obviously we do like a teaching seminars and things. At first we were talking about doing things online, and then we've got obviously Academy in London and the Academy in Leeds now. And now the meter rule hopefully is going down. We're thinking we could do a smaller class. So I think that the week before, it just depends on what they actually say tomorrow as well, because, you know, effectively, it could be all right to actually do that, because the staff are going to come into the salon anyway. I personally think that's a great idea. If you can do it, I think it's a fantastic idea to get all the staff together and just go through things and even go through things about the salon. You know,
changes you might have made as well. Someone said that they have gone into the salon and repainted. So, you know, not only making changes in regards to PPE and keeping things safe, but also making the space feel different and for when you're coming back. So that's quite nice as well. Hev says, do we change our mask after every customer or wear just one all day?
Well, that's it. The masks that we've got, the filter can be changed rather than the actual mask. And at the moment, that as far as I know, that's the actual rule about you've got to actually change the mask after so long. It might turn into. I think that any specific questions like this, you should go to the government website as well. A lot of the problem about you know, information like this is it can get all diluted. And I think that I've taught this, Anna being the Mrs. Logic, I call her Mrs. Spock, right? Mrs. Logic, she's like, if you don't understand it, go to the government website, because they're the ones who are actually telling people what to actually do. So and it to me, it's very, very plain and simple when I actually look at that as well. And obviously we've got the National Hair and Beauty Federation as well, and which is fantastic really, because we've got actually a body of people talking for us and actually helping us. I mean, that's absolutely amazing really. So look at what they're saying as well. And I've also just got a message saying staff can go in and train as long as they are no longer furloughed. So there we go. That's an important one about the furlough. I never thought of that actually, so that's good somebody's said that actually. That's fantastic.
Wendy's asking, how are you going to be making appointments? Are you going to do one in, one out, or how are you planning on structuring that?
Well, at the moment, obviously, because there's 3 stylists, but we're going down to Michael and myself. Anna's doing more on the nail side of things. So we're doing our appointments as we do anyway. So we've got quite a lot of space, and I'll be working upstairs. Michael will be working downstairs. Right. Anna's got a separate room already. So we're going to keep our appointments like that, because we won't then be crossing over. I know some salons won't be able to do that, and you just, again as well, we're going to have to wait to the guidelines. Australia, when they didn't lock down hairdressing at all. Hairdressing was open all the way through, and they did have that system where one was in, one was out. But as far as I know, it's not going to be the same as that when it goes out that, because obviously we're going to be included in pubs and things, and there isn't one person going in and one person going out. So
that would be a fun pub experience.
It would be a long time waiting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the wait for the bar is normally so long anyway. I can't even imagine it. But yeah, of course, it's going to be very different depending on the structure of your salon as well. But a lot of this, because obviously we're trying to pre-book appointments so you can measure the amount of people that come in and out. Things like walk-ins, I'm guessing, are going to be affected. What's your messaging around that?
I think with walk-ins, it's obviously got to be discouraged at the moment. Again, as well with a booking platform, then I think people have got to be encouraged to look at the booking platform and book through that.
Yeah.
You've got your chats that you can actually do as well. It's important for you to actually go on to the actual booking platform yourself personally as well and look at what's actually going on there. With walk-ins, with even the booking website, if a person's walking down the street and they want an appointment, they'd be able to actually go on their tablets or whatever they've got, or the phone, and actually find if there's a free appointment available. If there's a free appointment, then there's no problem having a walk-in. That's the idea of it, that's the idea of the salon. You don't want anybody to be sitting there, especially if you get a cancellation, then that's actually fantastic. That cancellation can be filled straight away, but there's no problem with the person walking in for that appointment. It's still only one, so I think that's fine.
Have you got any marketing materials in regards to bags? And I've seen a lot of people saying we're not going to offer tea and coffee and stuff. Do you have those things in place as well?
Yeah, I think refreshments, I've always been refreshments, I've always loved to sort of give people a good service like that, a choice of different drinks, and I've got beautiful trays for them. I love all that, and biscuits and things, but that's got to be a no-no. I did look at things of having maybe disposable cups and they can take away and things, but I thought until I can actually do it properly, I'm just going to say nothing like that. Bags, at the beginning, it was definitely a no-go on bags, but I don't know what the actual restrictions are going to be like that. At first it was somebody would have to literally burn the clothes before they walked in, and it's it's not practical, is it? We might as well not open in that respects, if we can't actually work. So I think that you've got to remember of using I would say disposable cape and try your best to make sure that that's biodegradable as well, which most should be now. That's my main fear about plastics and things.
The amount of single-use plastic is going to skyrocket, which is terrible for the planet.
And most good companies would be using biodegradables and things as well. So have them, they could be disposed of straight away afterwards, and have them for each client. Possibly we're going to have to wear them as well. I know we've got them, and I think that the other thing is being, the perception for the client as well. I think that's the most important thing. You've got to make sure that the client realizes that you're being conscious of what's going on as well around you.
Definitely. Lindsay says, what about blow drying hair? Will that be allowed? So I suppose we don't know that for sure, but have you had to change and make any changes to your service list at all?
I think with social distancing, that's the changes that I've made. But to the list, I'm still going to blow dry as much as I know at the moment. It may be that they turn around and say, no, you can't. I hope not, because for me again as well is part of doing a haircut, you're going to need to blow dry it.
I mean, if you tried to cut my hair without blow drying it, it would be a disaster.
Exactly, it wouldn't work, would it? So again, as well, it's I personally don't think that that's it. I've not heard that around the world when I've been on other Zoom meetings. It's not come up. So, but it's a little bit, who knows? Wait for the guidelines, basically.
Lindsay, we'll all find out together.
No,
go for it.
No, I'm saying let's pray. Let's hope we can blow dry. Definitely.
Emma said that she just does a walk-in service. So what would your advice be to Emma? Because she relies on walk-ins for her her hairdressing service?
You know, personally, I would look at sign up to 11 Beauty Hour, right? It's free, you know, so especially at the moment. Use my code. I say this to everybody as well. Use, when you sign up, using the code King. I say Mark is King. Yeah, use it as King. You know, if you deal in walk-ins and you're used to that, then this is going to be a change for you. That I would say definitely look at a platform like 11th Beauty Hour, because it's going to make you more in control. I think it's going to be very, very difficult if you rely on just walk-ins and that's it, because the difficulty that is you haven't got control of how many people are going to come through the door.
No.
So and you need to. So you know, it's imperative, I think, that you re-look at that actual way that you're actually working. I know it's hard, and you know, I'm not sitting here telling people what to do at all. You know, I'm only saying what I think will help, really. You know.
Yeah, especially there'll be definitely less footfall, even though shops have reopened. It's not going to be the same as previously. The footfall that you might have had outside of the salon. Helen said, "Are you going to disinfect brushes each time, as well as combs and scissors?"
Absolutely, yeah. Right, I'm a massive clean freak, as a lot of hairdressers are. Like I said, you spend 3 years of your career cleaning, so you end up being OCD anyway. So I've always used a disinfectant spray on my brushes all the time anyway. I think that the good thing about this is the things that you do naturally are good, but also it encourages you to do other things. And I think what's really important is you show the client you're doing it. Don't do it in the back. Do it in front of the customer, so they know you're actually disinfecting things in between. You should be cleaning and oiling your scissors all the time, after every haircut anyway, and your clippers and things. The oils that you use, if you're using a proper one, they'll have disinfectant in them already. You can also use a disinfectant spray, which isn't wet, on your brushes. You know, for me, that's something you should be doing already. So to answer the question, yes, I definitely am, because I do it anyway.
Cool. So we're going to wrap up soon. So if anyone on Facebook has any more questions, do send them through. Marcus, what's been your biggest learning from lockdown?
Oh, biggest learn. That's a really brilliant question. To be honest, I've learned lots. So it's quite difficult to sort of just say one particular thing. I've learned lots personally about family and things, and what's important in that respect, trying to get a balance. I've also, you know, been encouraged, again, this is just the most amazing industry to be involved in. You know, and you know, it really is, this is about people, and our industry is about people. And I think that, you know, on a positive, we're all fantastic. We really are, you know what I mean? So, and I mean, I think that even when people feel in the hairdressing industry they're being quite singled out, as you know, they still got together and made it better. So if anything, I've learned that everybody's great, really. So you know,
it's
that's
funny you mentioned about family, because I think it's a question that a lot of women get asked when they're a mum and a business owner. But as a father and a business owner and having kids in lockdown, how has that been for you, like juggling everything all together?
What's been great is spending more time with them. So I personally have loved that, and you know, it's been one long weekend, and you know, so I've actually loved it, and I've played so many Paw Patrol games and things that I know all characters and everything.
Perfect.
You know, and having a bit of fun. You know, you might as well. And at this last bit, I think I would encourage everybody to go out there, actually treat it like a big holiday. You know, before you're going to go back, like have a little holiday, because it's going to be a while before you get another one.
Yeah, because of all the appointments that have been booked.
Exactly. You know.
Cool. So the last question I'm going to ask is from Erica, and she says, how does the booking system work with timings for each client, i.e. some colour and cut appointments would take longer than others?
So you're in charge of that. So it goes on it isn't 11 Beauty Hour set the targets of what your appointment system is. You set that. So once somebody goes onto the platform, they go into your salon. So if you've got spaces available from 10, then 11, or from 10 and 12, they'll be able to book into that. So you'll be able to look at that. So you're, like I said, you're in control as much as you want to be in control, or not in control as much as you don't want to be. You know, that's the answer to that. So
completely
it's
flexible.
easy.
Yeah, to build around what works for you in your salon and your clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, let's see, we've got one more question. Grace said, would you recommend 11th Hour for larger salons?
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think that's absolutely essential for a larger salon. I think that because it gives you that whole control. You know, so obviously if you're one person in charge of a group of salons as well, it's much easier to control what's actually going on in different booths in different salons. So yeah, I think it's more imperative with the larger salon group, definitely.
Perfect. Well, Marcus, I'm going to let you get off now, but thank you so much for joining us. And anyone that is interested in 11th Hour Beauty who supported this session, the link is in the description on Facebook and in the comments. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you soon, Marcus.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.